Today, we're diving into a huge breakthrough in AI that was built for one of the most linguistically complex places on the entire planet. We're talking about Bulbul V3, the brand new text-to-speech model from the Indian AI startup Sarvam AI, and trust me, it's a really big deal. But hey, before we get into all the tech specs, let's try a little something Sarvam AI actually put on their own blog. They posted a few audio clips and asked a simple question. Is it a real person or is it AI? The fact that it's even a tough question to answer, well, that tells you everything about how far this technology has come. It's all about making it sound natural. And this quote right here, this is the heart of the problem that Sarvam AI was determined to solve. You see, most text-to-speech systems, they're built for clean, simple, single-language text. But that's just not how millions of people in India actually speak. And that complexity is precisely why most of the big global voice AI models just fall flat in the Indian context. So let's really break that challenge down. What is it about speech in India that makes it so incredibly difficult for traditional AI to get right? Because it's way more than just a bunch of different languages. Now, what I love about this is the side-by-side comparison. On the left, you've got that old, clunky, robotic-sounding AI. You know the one. It can't pronounce a common name like Rakesh. It butchers numbers and currency, and it just sounds totally fake. But on the right, that's reality. That's how people really talk, mixing English and Hindi, what we call Hinglish, all in one breath. Just think about a banking app trying to explain an EMI payment, or a healthcare service giving out instructions. For that to actually work, the voice has to be perfect every single time. And this is exactly where Sarvam AI's Bulbul V3 enters the picture. This thing wasn't designed to be some generic one-size-fits-all model. Nope. It was engineered from the ground up to solve this very specific, very complex, India-first problem. So Sarvam AI zeroed in on what they call the 3 pillars of a production-ready voice. First up, naturalness. Does it actually sound human? Does it have the right emotion? Second, robustness. Can it handle that messy, real-world mix of languages and slang and numbers without just crashing and burning? And finally, stability. Can it do this reliably, thousands, even millions of times a day, without skipping words or making mistakes? So you see, this isn't just about sounding cool in a demo. It's about being ready for the real world. Of course, those are some pretty big claims, but Sarvam AI didn't just talk the talk. They put it all to the test in an independent, third-party blind listening study. So let's see how they did. And this chart just lays it all out, plain and simple. What you're looking at are results for 8 kilohertz audio. That's basically the quality you get on a regular phone call, a super important real-world situation. And in a blind test, where people had no idea which AI they were hearing, Bulbul V3 was the clear winner. It was the most preferred voice, even beating out some huge global players like 11 Labs and Cartesia. Now let's talk about stability, because this is absolutely crucial for any business that wants to use this stuff. This table shows that Bulbul V3 has the lowest rate of missing words and mispronunciations. I mean, think about it. If an AI voice skips the name of a medicine or gets a bank balance wrong, you instantly lose all trust. So fewer errors means you can actually rely on it. And when they tested it on the absolute hardest, most India-specific texts you can imagine, we're talking local names, technical terms, mixed language sentences, Bulbul V3 still came out on top with the lowest character error rate. That proves it's not just speaking clearly, it's actually preserving the meaning of what's being said, and that's the ultimate test. And here is a perfect example of it all working together. This is a script for a loan collection call. Just listen to how it flows. It nails the English greeting, the Hindi explanation, the name, Rakesh Kumar, the exact currency amount, and then switches back to English for the call to action. This is exactly the kind of thing older systems would completely choke on, but Bulbul V3 was built for it. So, okay, this is obviously an incredible piece of tech, but why does it matter beyond just being a cool voice? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture, for India and for the world of AI. This quote from tech commentator Didi Das is just so powerful. He straight up admits he was skeptical at first, but after seeing the results, he's calling their models the best for Indian languages. That's some serious, unbiased proof that Sarvam isn't just making noise, they're solving a real problem that even the experts thought was too hard. What Sarvam is doing really taps into this huge idea called sovereign AI. So what is that? Well, in simple terms, it's the idea that a nation should build its own core AI models, trained on its own data to solve its own unique problems.
It's all about not having to depend on foreign tech giants for something so transformative.
And honestly, this is probably the best way to understand the potential impact. Think about what UPI, the Unified Payments Interface, did for digital payments in India. It created this basic layer that just unleashed a tidal wave of innovation. The thinking is that Sarvam's whole AI stack, from voice to reading documents, could do the very same thing for artificial intelligence, sparking a whole new ecosystem of India-specific apps. Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get to the what. What can you actually build with a tool this powerful and this specific? The use cases are immediate, and they're massive. In e-commerce and finance, you get crystal clear communication about your orders and payments. In healthcare, and this is so important, you get accurate pronunciation of complex medical terms, which is critical. And in education, you can finally build AI tutors that actually speak to students in their own language, making learning so much more accessible. And businesses have a ton of options to play with. Bulbul V3 launched with a library of over 30 different voices. And these aren't just any voices. They're all from professional artists to make sure the quality is top-notch. They cover 11 Indian languages right out of the gate, and if a brand wants its own unique sound, the model can even clone a voice to create a custom audio identity. So Sarvam AI has clearly raised the bar for voice AI in India. But what's next? Where do they go from here? Well, the goal is pretty ambitious. Total coverage. Sarvam has already announced plans to expand from the 11 languages they have now to all 22 scheduled languages of India. That shows a really deep commitment to serving the country's incredible linguistic diversity. And that leaves us with one last really big question to think about. For years and years, we've had to learn how to talk to technology on its terms. But now, technology is finally learning to speak our languages in all their beautiful complexity. So if AI can truly understand and speak in every local dialect, what kind of new conversations, new services, and new possibilities will that open up for a billion people? The breakthrough isn't just a better voice, it's the start of a whole new dialogue.